Hello fellow humans and welcome to the episode of playing tanks aggressively that shouldn't really be played aggressively. Now, we start off with the YOLO wagon. Now, it's called the YOLO wagon, but it's not really that good at YOLOing because the lower plate armor is horrible, the side armor is horrible. Well, the only thing that's good is really the front plate and the superstructure. The gun's pretty damn good, but overall, YOLOing in this thing requires quite a lot of skill. So if you have that amount of disadvantages, and it does have a lot. I mean, it does have, for example, excellent accuracy and pretty solid mobility. If you look, for example, at the gun depression, it's only 5 degrees, which is not good. So it's got quite a lot of disadvantage. Now, how do you deal with something like that? Ideally, you play it on the flat ground, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done that. Now, the thing is, the player makes the bigger difference than the vehicle. Let's say we have a look at the Lorraine 40T and the Lorraine 40T Fearless. They're the exact same tank, yet the win rate difference is 14%, whereas the Lorraine 40T has 50%, and the Lorraine 40T Fearless has 64%. So the player makes a very big difference no matter the tank. Now, certain tanks are going to work better in certain situations than for certain types of players. So it is also something very important to find the right tank for you as well. Don't underestimate that. Try a bit of everything, but then what do you enjoy most, and for also what do you play best in, right? But it's obviously a problem if you, let's say, enjoy tank destroyers, but you play best with medium tanks, and that's unfortunate, but it happens. So ideally you want to find a middle ground then, but normally if you enjoy it, you're gonna be good, hopefully. So what you also need in a case like this is a team that doesn't really pay that much attention, because to do really well, you need 3 things. Well, you need skill, you need luck, and you need the teams to play along, which means that your team is bad, which means they're not going to do a lot of damage, allowing you to do a lot of damage, and then the enemy team also being bad and also slightly worse than your team, that they won't steamroll your team, that you can farm them while your team doesn't stop you from farming. Like, exactly that's the case right here, which is lovely, and we're up to 5,000 damage already. Lovely replay, by the way. If you want to send me your own replays, then put them up our Discord server, and I will feature them, because at the moment I'm doing a lot of replay videos, simply because I don't have time for anything else. But anyway, that is how that goes. Now, do you want to play aggressively in something like a 263? Well, certainly. It can be very useful and can also be very rewarding. So thank you very much to Applehead Fighter for sending this one in. It's a great replay. And you can play tanks like this aggressive. However, what if we change to a vehicle that shouldn't be able to be played aggressively? And that vehicle is the Grill 15. And this is one of my games that I've got on a stream very recently. If you don't know, I do stream Tuesdays, Fridays, and twice a month, Saturdays. So check that out if you haven't already. On Tuesday, we're doing tank requests, and on Friday, we are doing the Crabcast, which is very fun. Now, you saw the grill stats right there. Now, this vehicle isn't really made for rushing. I mean, it has no armor. It has pretty damn good straight line mobility, but the traverse speed is really, really bad. So you can't really play this thing aggressively, you know? Well, you can. But it's still this idea of a certain tank can only do a certain thing. That is, to some degree, that is true. However, if you are an excellent player, and if you're able to, first of all, be lucky, like I've already mentioned earlier, it doesn't work without being lucky for the most part, as well. You need a bit of luck to play well, right? If you're unlucky, you're never going to do great, but that's just part of the game. And you can, if you're good enough, not only fight the enemy team, but also fight the tank that you're playing and wrestle it into performing at a level it shouldn't. Which is what makes the difference between a good player and an excellent player. A good player is going to use the tank's advantage to their advantage, and an excellent player is going to get an advantage out of the vehicle that it's not supposed to have. So, in this case, I'm playing a grill. I haven't taken any damage yet. I'm going in there. I know that object just fired, so I'm going to re-peek. If he's dead, though, doesn't matter. Now, we've got guys behind there. I know there's nothing that can shoot me right now. I'm completely safe here, which is also an important thing to have as well. Awareness, where are they? That 57 heavy can't shoot me. These two guys can't shoot me. I'm fine. There's a Skoda behind me. He can shoot me, but I try to shoot him, but now I'm not really thinking about going for him, but now at this point, I'm like, okay. I looked at the minimap and I was like, okay, there's a heavy behind that Skoda. If that heavy shoots the Skoda, I can go for the Skoda because then he's a one-shot. And he is. So, things like that. Thinking all the time is what makes a player good, right? You don't even have to know everything about the game or about the tanks, right? Because I don't. I sometimes don't even know what alpha damage a tank has, but if you know how the game works and how a game flows, and more importantly, you pay attention to the minimap and also to your surroundings, and you can exploit little things like that. You see, okay, I can make a use of this window, for example. You see things like that, and you can do really well. And you can play a tank like the Grill aggressively. I've just went forward and pushed, and I have not taken a single point of damage just yet, which is very good in a vehicle like this because you don't have any armor, so you gotta somehow make up for it with skill. The 263 that we had earlier, that's a bit different, ouch. And the 263 allows you a bit more leeway in that regard, but yeah, you don't want to be too uncareful there. Now at this point, 2 versus 2. 4,400 damage. That 50B is not going to really do a great service of living. So I'm going to have to do this on my own, but I'm still full HP, which is really good. Now, there's 2 problems though. The 4202, the 4005 rather, it can clip me pretty much with an entire clip, and the Chieftain does have good HE rounds. However, that doesn't really matter if I can be smarter. The FV, it just misses me there, and now, you see that? You see that little gap? I instantly spotted it. Wait a minute, there's a gap, I can shoot through that. Things like that. Pay attention to every detail, and I have no idea how that 50B threw that away, but there you go. Now look at that. Boom, send it through. I had the HE, but full 20 damage, still good enough. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn right around, and I'm going to get out of here. Right? Because I don't want to fight both of them at the same time. If you're in a 1vx situation, you do not want to fight all of them at the same time. Now, at this point, I'm going to try to go back, because there you go, I know where the Chieftain is. And now, the Chieftain is going to go and push me. So now, what you can see me doing right here is, first of all, I'm turning to the outside so that the Chieftain can't get to my inside, and then I'm getting my rear up against the hill here so that he can't get past. And now, I'm just going to hold him to my side. I have the turret that he can't get out of there, and there's nothing to do. And now, did you see that? The Chieftain shot the gun of the Grill with HE, and the FV took a long time to aim, which means I won that battle even though I shouldn't have. So, if this tells you one thing, then it's very simple. Pay attention to the details. Know how to extract performance out of a vehicle that it shouldn't have, and if you're lucky, you can do well. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.